What's up, tribe? What's up? How y'all doing? This is going to be a quick weekend review. It's not the Friday night review because it's Saturday night. So here's the thing. I feel I owe y'all an explanation why it's not Friday night. Because I called it a Friday night review because my intention was to do them on Friday nights. So here's the thing. I was exhausted last night. I cannot. I don't have an excuse. That's just what it was. I got home from work, and honestly, I just did not have the energy to do it. Like if I had done it last night, it would have been like this. So that's what happened this week. Cause that's how tired I was. Like I was sleep. For me, I am a nocturnal person. I can stay up all night, which is part of my problem because I don't get enough sleep, and I'm usually, especially on a Friday night, I'm usually in bed. I usually don't go to bed before 3 o'clock on a Friday night. You know, during the week I don't go to bed before midnight. Even when I have to get up and go to work. Last night I was probably asleep by 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm not lying. My intention was to do it, but I was exhausted. So I wanted to give you guys my full energy, and that is why I'm here. I don't have a lot to say for a couple of reasons. One, this week was so full of bullshit with this whole immigration piece that I think the celebrity news probably just went past me by. Not that shit wasn't happening in celebrity world, but probably it just wasn't in the forefront of my mind when you see babies sleeping under aluminum foil blankets, right? So there was that. I also we're doing a show tomorrow. We're going to be doing a Really Bitch podcast tomorrow. And y'all know we're going to be talking about all this bullshit tomorrow, right? So y'all got to make sure y'all stay tuned for the Really Bitch podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode, which was sort of a special episode with an interview with she's a really good friend of mine, but at the same time she's also a writer who I wanted to have on the show and showcase, and she definitely has a story to tell. If you have not, oh shoot, I meant to bring the books with me so I can hold them up, but I'm gonna have them tomorrow. But if you have not checked out her books, it's the author's Carol Barbour. Her book is called I Chose Defiance. Excuse me. So I want you guys to check it out. All right, I want you guys to go ahead and check it out. I put up a commercial. It's in last week's podcast. The first thing I want to say too before we get started. I know I've been rambling 2 minutes already. Wow. I want to thank each and every one of you. I put up a challenge a few weeks back. I put up a challenge saying that I wanted to get to 500 subscribers by my birthday. And my birthday is July the 2nd. So I still have almost 2 weeks, right? Or 2 weeks, yeah. Still have about 2 weeks. And I have hit 500 subscribers. So I want to thank you guys. So now you know what that means. I have to put up another goal. So my goal by my birthday is to be at 550, right? So please share, forward, bring people over, tell people about the channel, all that great stuff. Now, on to the bullshit. First off, I want to send out prayers and thoughts to the Jackson family. It has been reported that Joe Jackson is in bed in hospital with terminal cancer, and basically at this point they're just making him comfortable. This is a man who has definitely lived a full life, and regardless of how you might personally feel about some of the decisions he may have made in regards to his children, he brought us the Jacksons. He brought us the Jackson 5. His persistence in wanting his children to be better brought us Michael Jackson, right? And so with that being said, I just want to send prayers to the family. It's never an easy thing. Cancer is a motherfucker, and it's definitely a hard thing to watch. I've had to do it with a few family members, and it's not an easy thing to watch. It's definitely not. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to talk about some of the things I probably won't hit today. We're going to probably talk about tomorrow. I told you guys I wasn't going to do a full Drag Race reunion review, unless it was something major that happened. And by now, you guys, if you follow Drag Race, by now you know that the major thing that happened was that the Vixen walked off the show. So here's my piece on that. I understand why Vixen was upset. I don't agree with all of Vixen's point of view. I really don't. And she did a live that she did a live the same night of the reunion to sort of give her side of the story, to sort of, I guess, let you see or understand where she was coming from. I believe then, I mean, I believe now the same thing I believe then. What I believe is that the Vixen saw things in Eureka that reminded her of white women privilege, or even white men privilege, and every white person that ever done her wrong or discriminated against her. I think she started the show already having a problem with Eureka. I think that, and I don't think Eureka helped. Don't get me, I'm not defending Eureka. I think that Eureka definitely had an angle, something that the Vixen brought up. She said, it wasn't so much that Eureka had been on the show before and she knew certain things about the show, which I saw as an advantage. That she's been on the show, she sort of knows the ins and outs. But something that Vixen brought up in her live was she knew people on the line. She knew the producers. Like, she already knew, like, was on a first name basis. We know she had already done DragCon and all of that. So it wasn't just, oh, Eureka been on the show before and she has an advantage. Eureka had networked and you know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. And you saw it throughout the season. Eureka knew her angle. She knew what to do, what to say to get the most screen time. Like, Eureka's not stupid. And she didn't play a stupid game. Don't get it twisted. I am not defending Eureka. But what I am saying, and what I think RuPaul was trying to get Vixen to understand is, without coming right out and saying it in front of everybody, you can't jump to the bait. Because at the end of the day, Eureka's always going to get the benefit over you. You're going to come off as the angry black woman because you're playing her game. You're playing her game. And Eureka said, I was trying to get a rise out of you. So you know that that's what she was trying to do, and you gave it to her. You gave it to her. Had you said, all right, Eureka girl, and gone back to your conversation with Monique Hart, the scene would have been over. Eureka would have had nothing. But that's not what you did. You gave her the scene. And then at the reunion, when RuPaul, I think that's what RuPaul was trying to get you to understand, you again took offense, felt like everybody was coming for you, felt like everybody was coming at you, and then chose to walk off, which gave them all the power, because then from that point forward, they controlled the rest of that narrative. I didn't agree with a lot of what Vixen did. And even in her live where she was giving her side of the story, I still didn't agree with her. I was like, okay, girl, and like some of the stuff she said, I still felt like, but you were still wrong. You were still wrong, in my humble opinion. I think that you have to be very careful about biting the hand that feeds you. RuPaul's Drag Race, being on RuPaul's Drag Race is a very prestigious and strong moniker to have behind your name. But if you burn that bridge, you may cut off a lot of opportunities for yourself. So I'm going to say to you, Miss Vixen, be very, very careful about what you choose to say when you choose to say it and how you choose to say it. That's all I'm going to say about that. The rest of the reunion, it was what it was. It was a good reunion. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a good reunion. I just didn't feel like it was a whole lot to do a whole review on. I'm not one to get into all the looks because, like I said, what I like, nobody ever likes. And what everybody else likes, I don't like. I really didn't like hardly any of the looks. There was a few that I thought were cute. But for the most part, I didn't like too many of them. I just didn't like too many of them. I think people were trying too hard to do different things or be different or stand out. And my thing is, you're there for a reason. Just be who you are. There were some people that I think hit it out the park. I personally liked the Mayhem's look. James Caldwell didn't like it at all. I liked it. But James Caldwell has a different eye than what I have. He does drag. He does hair. You know what I mean? He was talking about her wig. I didn't see nothing wrong with the wig, but I don't do hair, clearly. Right? So, I don't really get into all the looks because, The only other thing that came up was we saw where Cameron played a really smart game. She said point blank the reason why she wasn't saying a whole lot is because she didn't want them to have a lot of negative clips about her to be able to share with people. I mean, clips for the show. So that's why she stayed quiet. She played a very smart game. And I told y'all from the beginning, you can go back to my earlier reviews of Drag Race, probably from the 3rd episode forward. I kept telling y'all, watch out for Cameron. Watch out for Cameron. Watch out for Cameron. And now she's in the top 4. I don't think she's going to win, but she's in the top 4. I think that it's going to be the first person that's going to be eliminated. I think it's going to be Asia for a couple of reasons. Um, I just think it's going to be Asia. The second person I think is going to be eliminated is going to be Cameron. It's going to come down to Aquaria and Eureka. I don't know who's going to win, but those are going to be your top two, I believe. I think it may go to Eureka only for one, to be able to have the, we finally gave it to a big girl type of thing. And two, Aquaria is so young. I just don't know. I think she's ready. I'm not a big Aquaria fan, but I have a lot of respect for Aquaria. I think she's ready. I just don't know if she. I don't know. But that's my prediction. My predictions: first to be eliminated will be Asia. Also, it's a lip sync off, and honestly, I've only seen Asia lip sync twice, and out of those two lip syncs, she didn't do anything to impress me. So that's the other reason why I feel like Asia might be the first one to be eliminated. All right, Ti getting caught cheating on Tiny again. Are we waiting for Ti to do something different? Ti ain't gonna do nothing different because Ti doesn't have to pay the consequence for what he does. Ti has clearly never really been a faithful person. Yet he still has everything he wants. He has his wife whenever he wants her. I think it says a lot that she actually bought a house and didn't immediately go back to him, but it was clear that they had sort of gotten back together, or at least on their way to reconciliation. He's cheated on her multiple times and gotten caught and never had to pay the price for it. So why would he stop doing it? Anyway, I like Ti though, so it really disappoints me that I have to keep seeing Ti as a fuck nigga. The way he treats Tiny, but I love him. I love him as an artist. I love how he fights for you know social justice, but in his personal life, he ain't nothing to aspire to. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I think he's a little bit of a chauvinist in how he feels the role of women are, but Tiny chooses to deal with that. She loves him and she chooses to deal with it. And I don't judge her for that. I don't judge her for that. I judge her. Well, I don't even judge her for staying with him because that's her life. That's her business. That's what she wants to do. But I just, my thing is this: if you don't want her and you don't want to be faithful to her, just then leave her alone. Like Fantasia said, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go on and free yourself. But, oh well, Ti. Um, the BET experience. We got the BET weekend going on. I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of clips from it. It looks like it's going to be, what BET always is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I saw Mara La Negra hosting with Safari. I like both of them. I love that song Insecure, and she looked like she performed it a few times, and she looked to me look gorgeous every time. I will review on the BET Awards. We'll see what type of fuckery goes on at the awards this weekend. But yeah, that is like I said, a lot of probably which I thought I would talk about will probably hit tomorrow, and I've still been talking for almost 15 minutes. So yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, and y'all have a great weekend. Peace.